Welcome back to the over 4,000 Ravens fans chilling with us today in the Ravens space. And family, we had to talk about Nnamdi Madubuike because we're talking about the offseason and getting better. And right now, there's a glaring hole that we need to talk about, and he's the way to fix it. And he's the one that is disappointing Ravens fans all across the world. The truth of the matter is, the Ravens have an issue with pass rush and pressuring the quarterback consistently without the use of stunts and bringing extra people. All of our best players who are good at getting to the quarterback, they play best in either coverage situations where the coverage is so good they can get to the quarterback like a Adolphe Owe, or they are really good in the different pass rush sets, the different stunts, the different tricks like a Kyle Van Noy. But we don't have that one player that you can just rush for, and one player can win every single time. And that player was supposed to be Madubuike. Now, Nnamdi Madubuike is a good player, and you guys, if you don't know the trajectory of his career, I will really sum it up very quickly. He came into the league, he played very well his rookie year. I thought he played good the other 2 years, but then last year, he played excellently and really was one of the players that they based the entire stunt game around him. So even though last year he also had a lot of stunts, he was also a part of the reason why other players were able to get so many sacks as well. This year, it was not him. It was not him being the main focus. And when I ask you about Nnamdi Madubuike, and I say, who is supposed to be the best player on our defensive line, his name should be the first name that comes up. And you might ask, well, Jason, why would you say it's him? It's simple. Follow the money.
Straight cash, homie.
Nnamdi Madubuike is the highest paid defensive lineman on the Baltimore Ravens. But not only that, he is currently the third highest paid interior defensive lineman in all of football. In the entire National Football League, there's only two players who are higher paid than he is: Chris Jones for the Chiefs and Christian Wilkins for the Raiders. And when we look at the numbers, they are pretty staggering for the amount of production that the Ravens received last year. And again, contracts in football have this weird relationship where the money's not guaranteed, and so you're kind of not only paid for what you've done but what you're going to do. Other sports, when the money's guaranteed, you're kind of paying for the production that you get, right? But because it's not guaranteed in football, it's a little different. It's, more fuzzy. But when we look at this, Nnamdi Madubuike is third in fully guaranteed money with $48 million, third in total guarantees with $75 million, and then third as well in total value and average per year, with an average of $24.5 million per year. This is the big reason why we can't sign a pass rusher, because the pass rusher slot's already filled with Nnamdi Madubuike. Nnamdi has never been the best defensive run stopper on our team. And the reason that he hasn't is because the Ravens have some really good personnel at stopping the run. It's what we focus on when we build our defense. That's what we focus on early, and it really does show with the amount of talent. And we'll go over some of that talent a little later in this video. But it's just so much talent at stopping the run that we really need a pass rusher, and that is what we signed Madubuike for. The reason that you sign defensive linemen to those big contracts is because they can get after the quarterback. And there is no excuse for signing a person to get after the quarterback and they don't get after the quarterback at a high enough level. And we talked about the money. We talked about how much he's paid. But what really comes down to is his play. Because if you play well and you get paid well, we're all good. However, the play has not been equal to the amount of money that he has been earning. And we do need to talk about that as Ravens fans. And of course, they were talking about that in the Ravens organization as well. Remember, he's the third highest paid defensive tackle in the National Football League and the fifth highest paid Baltimore Raven. And when we look at his Pro Football Focus grade, and again, Pro Football Focus is not the end all be all. I'm not saying that. However, the compare and contrast players based with some professional scouting expertise, other than me sitting down and grading every single player, which I have not done. So Nnamdi Madubuike has an overall PFF grade of 69.1, which is 30th overall for interior defensive lineman, 30th out of 118. So again, we're not saying he is bad, right? He is obviously a top quarter player. However, he is not a top 5 player this year. We need a top 5 player if we're paying him top 3 DT money. We need a top 5 player if we're paying you a top 5 Baltimore Ravens money. And he just hasn't been that, and we really do need that. Now, again, this pass grade was the best of all his other grades, and again, was a 28th, so around that same area, but we need him to be better than. Let's go look at some of the other players on the defensive line and compare and contrast what he does, right? We're not going to talk about who I think the best defensive lineman on the team is, Michael Pierce, because he was injured, didn't play a lot of games, so I'm not holding this against Madubuike because the injuries just didn't allow for us to see them every single week, right? Pierce was a little bit fresher because he played less games and less snaps. However, when Michael Pierce was on the field, he had a much higher grade, was an 80.7, which would have put him easily in the top 10 of defensive interior linemen. But again, he doesn't get a grade because he didn't play enough. Travis Jones did play enough, however. Travis Jones is the 27th rated interior defensive tackle, which is higher than Madubuike. He has a higher run defense grade, does not have a higher pass grade, but again, Travis Jones is a run-first defender right now. And we also know that Michael Pierce is for sure a run-first defender, but Michael Pierce is also really good at pushing the pocket on the interior. He's just social. Point being is that Madubuike has not played up to his contract, and we need him to if the Ravens are going to win a Super Bowl, because we are not getting a pass rusher that is going to make that step. The only way we get an elite pass rusher is if someone on the team becomes an elite pass. And right now, Madubuike is the closest thing we have, for sure. I'm not saying that he's not. I'm not saying that he's bad. What I am saying is that he's not playing up to expectations, and that is hurting us so much when it comes to taking a step to the next level. If we, as the Ravens, got one pass rusher who became an elite pass rusher for a season, it would take our defense from good, because at the end of the season last year it was good, it would take it to elite. We would have playmakers on every single level, and not just playmakers, game wreckers, people who can take the game and just flip it on its head. We have that ability, but we need some pass rush consistently and be able to only rush 3 or 4 and get pressure on the quarterback. And Nnamdi Madubuike is the answer to that question, because like I said, the answer is not walking through that door in the form of a contract, and I also don't believe it's walking through that door in the form of a Odafe Oweh. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe. And if you want to share, that helps us even more. They're all free, so please check it out. Comment, because I want to hear your opinion. And then if you didn't like it, sorry. Thank you for watching all the way to the end, and we'll try better next time. Have a good one, and go Ravens.